Sorry. Yes, I missed Moon in the second house for Leo ascendant people. So let's make a video of what happens when Moon is in the second house in the sign of Virgo while it's ruling the second house with the sign of Cancer, Mool Trikon sign in the 10th house, which is Taurus. And this is for Leo ascendant people. And as always, we do not know if you have this particular moon, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the other astrological details. Check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultation under the shop section. So, Moon in the second house in Virgo. So first of all, Moon rules the 12th house, right? Which is to do with foreign lands, foreign places, multinational companies, expenses, losses, spirituality. Also the 10th house of your obligation to society, your work environment. So here, the very first thing that you will notice is that especially when this particular native is attached to the family, meaning you live with your family, meaning your parents, your siblings, okay? You will see family deals with a lot of expenses and losses. Like the fluctuation of wealth keeps going up and down for you. It keeps going up and down. And one of the things we also see that usually these people will earn money through either foreign lands or multinational companies. This is also the person who becomes, these people actually have quite a strict regime when it comes to dealing with money. They do not like to waste money as much as expenses come in unexpectedly. And that usually always happens when a person is living with their family. That particular part of living with your family activates that scenario where you're trying to save money, because this is the person who wants to budget things. This is the person who, like, when they get their paycheck, they want to make sure they take out their taxes, they take out their retirement plan money, they take out their savings, and then they want to spend on other things. They're very adamant about, oh, no, I need to save. You know why they always say that? They always say that because they always deal with these ups and downs and fluctuation in wealth. And that's specifically always the case before marriage. Now, if after marriage, a person lives separate from their family. So let's say this person, usually, as you know, in India or in certain societies, you have joint families. Even in US, like Indian families, they have joint families. When you have a joint family scenario where you're not the head, meaning you're living in the home of your parents still own the home, it's not under your name, you're gonna again deal with those fluctuations. So such people, I always advise to live separately after marriage, because then you will not be able to deal with so much of losses of family wealth, but more so gaining money through foreign sources. And these people, especially if you have Moon in the second house in Virgo, and you see Rahu in the 5th house, and Rahu or Mercury both in the 5th house, somehow influencing the 5th house, you will see these people love to gamble. They want to go towards stock market. They want to take risks with sports betting. They want to go to the Vegas and play the blackjack table. Even though they're careful with their money. They're not one of those people that will take their whole paycheck and put it in their risk-taking adventures. But they always want to have money so they can deal with the situations of speculation. And if, let's say, Rahu or Mercury is not influencing the 5th house, these people will have a great idea how to invest, but they will not do it themselves. They might actually hire somebody. They might actually go to, a broker. Like, hey, I want to take this money and I want to invest it. Advise me. The other thing you will see with this particular Mercury, that these people do not tend to, they're very oblivion to their in-laws. They don't really like to deal with the in-laws or deal with, what's happening with the spouse's family, or they're just very oblivion to it. But also their joint assets. They are very good at making sure that the person that they are marrying, even if it's a man, the person that they're marrying, they're able to contribute to the joint assets. And especially through speech, especially through their selling ability, their speech, they become very good at gaining money. Usually this person will do very well even in places of like dealing with commission. bonuses. However, you can't really say that this one placement will do this for everyone, because you have to look at the dharma of the person. You have to look at the artha of the person. Artha is the sustenance. Artha is how you make money. But especially when it comes to like education, learning, these folks are always like wanting to learn things related to finance, money, accounting, economics. Um, they want to know how the control of money works, because they're the one who are wanting to control the money. Now, here's another thing. I've seen this scenario. Rahu was with Mercury. This person, or not this person, somebody who was showing me the horoscope of this person, they actually, out of, from illegitimate sources or illegitimate means, they took control of their family wealth and said goodbye to the family. Why? Because they're so honed on, how do I attain that family wealth and assets? Because Mercury rules the second house with Virgo. So Moon is there in the second house in Virgo. So Moon is going to be behaving, it's education. So it's not, I think I said Mercury in the second house, this person will be interested. No, it's Moon in the second house. So they want to know, they want to learn the education of how to deal with money. So I'm sorry, it's not Moon and Mercury and Rahu, it's Moon and Rahu. That's the scenario that I was talking about. So they had Moon and Rahu in the second house. They wanted everything now and everything very strategically. And one of the other scenarios we see with this particular Moon in the second house of Leo ascendant is that when it comes to, dealing with situations related to marriage, that's where their intelligence always gets them into disputes with marriage. Like arguments in marriage will be occurring because the mind is so focused on wealth, money, and their family. They kind of feel internally that marriage becomes the obstacle for them. You will notice, I don't care who it is, if somebody has Moon in the second house and if they're married, ask them, how often do you get into disputes with your spouse because you're paying so much attention to wealth, money, or your own family? But also, like, especially related to the in-laws, they usually don't want to deal with that side of, their life. They rather just stay away from, maybe see them few times. Because usually this scenario can bring about a past life situation where your in-laws may have been your enemies in past life. And due to this, they kind of always tend to deal with some suffering related to spouse's family. So, Moon, and then you got to understand, Moon, is it waxing or waning? And I think I forgot to mention that in my Moon in the third house video. A waning Moon will be very adamant about dealing with, family, money, and controlling their losses. A waxing Moon will be much more open to sharing the wealth and dealing with the losses of the family, contributing to that, because they become more outward. They're like, hey, I'm here about you. Waning Moon will be like, I'm here about myself first before I care about you. Okay, so this is the placement of Moon in the second house in Virgo. And as always, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below if you want to know where your Moon is placed, all the other astrological details. Check out the links here. Otherwise, we will see you later tonight or tomorrow with our Navamsha video. Okay, bye-bye.